Welcome to the Instant Trivia Podcast, episode 1475, where we ask the best trivia on the internet. Let's get started. Who was the first Holy Roman Emperor? Charlemagne. Hestia is the daughter of which two titans? Cronus and Rhea. Where did the movie Stuart Little take place in? New York City. Of which U.S. state was Jimmy Carter governor before he became president? Georgia. Which planet in our solar system has a moon named Phoebe? Saturn. What was the name of the first album released by the 1990s German band Snap? World Power. Where is the lowest elevation in the U.S.? Death Valley. Which writer, best known for his macabre stories and poems, was born in Boston in 1809? Edgar Allan Poe. What color is the car that Starsky drives in the TV show Starsky and Hutch? Red. People who scavenged the sewers of London during the Victoria era were called what? Tosher. What baseball player was nicknamed Joltin' Joe and the Yankee Clipper? Joe DiMaggio. Roman general Scipio Africanus gained his African surname from his famous defeat of whom? Hannibal. How many tablespoons are in a cup? 16. What word is used in Hawaii as both a greeting and a farewell? Aloha. What's the first instrument that listeners hear at a performance of George Gershwin's Rhapsody in Blue? A clarinet. In the movie Gremlins, what is the name of the little mogwai given to Billy? Gizmo. In which decade did Mao Zedong come to power in China? 1940s. Albuquerque is located on the shores of what river? Rio Grande River. What TV show features the fictional TV show When the Whistle Blows? Extras. What was the focus of the Tehran Conference? Answer: the Allied invasion of France. Singer Stefani Joanne Angelina Germanotta is better known by what stage name? Lady Gaga. What country was called the Gold Coast prior to its 1957 independence? Ghana. In Britain, what kind of meat comes in rashers? Bacon. What river runs through Baghdad? The Tigris River. What organ in the human body is primarily affected by cystic fibrosis? The lungs. Who was the first president of the American Red Cross? Clara Barton. As of 2020, what was the top-selling beer in the world? Snow. What author wore a trademark dyed green carnation in his lapel in 1890s London? Oscar Wilde. What 1970 movie revolves around a cat named Duchess, her 3 kittens, and an evil butler named Edgar? The Aristocats. Which U.S. gangster described himself as a used furniture dealer on his business card? Al Capone. The 2 largest islands in the Mediterranean Sea are part of what country? Italy. Which novel did Joseph Heller write as a sequel to Catch-22? Closing time. What is acetylsalicylic acid commonly known as? Aspirin. Who was the only president to also have been Speaker of the House? James K. Polk. What's the collective noun for a group of gulls? Colony. What instrument did Paul McCartney primarily play as a member of the Beatles? Bass. What app, a monster hit in 2016, has been credited with teaching Americans the metric system? Pokemon Go. What modern country includes the ancient region of Mesopotamia? Iraq. What New York landmark stands in size 879 sandals? The Statue of Liberty. What is the sport in the movie The Hustler? Pool. Which racing team introduced a 6-wheeled race car in 1974 and began racing it in 1976? Tyrrell Racing. What Bruins and Rangers legend founded the Tampa Bay Lightning in 1991? Phil Esposito. Early in what novel is a rule made that only the person holding a conch shell may talk during group meetings? Lord of the Flies. Who played the role of Reggie Hammond in the 1982 film 48 Hours? Eddie Murphy. Who or what was the First Reich? The Holy Roman Empire. What instrument did bandleader Glenn Miller play? Trombone. Which U.S. state is home to the world's largest convenience store? Texas. Buc-ee's in New Braunfels has 67,000 square feet of retail space, about 22 average-sized 7-Eleven stores, and 1,000 parking spaces. What trumpet-like horn is jazzman Chuck Mangione's instrument? The flugelhorn. What is the easternmost Caribbean country? Barbados. Which Tennessee Williams play is about an Italian-American woman? The Rose Tattoo. That's the end of the show. Thanks for listening. Come back tomorrow for more exciting trivia.